And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Depending upon where you are, it could be heavy rain, it could be light rain in others, but one thing's for sure, you're most likely going to get wet today. 73 right now with a 100% chance of showers, 77 for the high. Now, one thing, you got to be a duck in some areas. We're expecting 2 to 3 inches of rain is what the National Weather Service is telling us. Now, if you're living in Philadelphia, Kemper County, if you are our friends in Leek, maybe you're in northern Scott or maybe northern Newton, it's bad right now. We don't have any warnings other than some flood warnings. Let's pull this up where everybody can see this morning. As we go to Meridian Honda radar, as we look at this, we have a flood warning here in Kemper County, and let's look at this. This is going to be until 11:45 today. Now, this includes all of Kemper County and the eastern side of Neshoba County. As we move over and look at this, Leek and also northwestern Neshoba County will be under a flash flood warning until 7:15 a.m. Most of that threat making its way on across. Let's zoom in and put on some locations to show you the difference of where this is going on. Now, again, as we said, all of Kemper County on this flood warning until 11:45. The line where it extends over is just east of Philadelphia. Here's Ford Store on Highway 16, and let's zoom in on this and see where this is. This will be the junction of 16 and Highway 482, basically, and follow that line all the way back down to just past Talbert Enterprises on Highway 491, back in this area. And as we look over here, the northern portion there, Highway 15, just above the Dixon, right before you get to the Neshoba County Fairgrounds, all of this area here will be under a flash flood warning until 7:15. Another 45 minutes remaining on that. Look at the heavy rain that is coming down. I urge you, if you've got to go anywhere in these areas, to take extra time, drive extremely slow as you come out of Meridian at Highway 19, slick, Highway 15, we all know that, 2-lane, and as well as Highway 1625. All of these areas here are very dangerous roads. And almost always, you can bet a wooden nickel that the wrecks will start pouring in a little bit. It just happens, whether it's brake sliding, going too fast, and that's why I urge you to leave home a little bit earlier. A wreck is just not worth it. Even if you're not hurt, the issue of having to do without your car and get a rental car for a few days, or and y'all all know this, you've had to bum rides with friends before to work at you. Not fun. Kind of messes up your daily routine. We don't want that to happen. As Chet just pointed out, who works on cars every day, Chet Parker, drive with your headlights on anytime it's raining. Do that, because this is a very dangerous day. Now, we're starting to see all this rain slowly move. Livingston, Alabama, getting poured on also. Let me pull radar back up. I didn't touch on that. Look here, between York, Livingston, all the way over to Linden, Alabama, these areas, a lot of rain. A little break in between Livingston and Epps, but up at Gainesville, all those beautiful churches, is pouring. Up at Geiger, those storefronts, it's coming down in Bolagie. As we look at Lauderdale County, now we're starting to show it kind of creep in here in this northern portion, up near the Ralph Morgan Rodeo, NAS Meridian, across these locations here. And this northwest corner here, I don't think it's made it to, let's see, it's right at the Piggly Wiggly there at the four-way stop. Yeah, right on the skirts of it, starting to ease in on that. Battlefield getting a lot of rain. And as we look at Decatur, right by the high school, coming down heavy. So kids, you're going to get wet. This is one of those days where it's bad to wait for the school bus, isn't it? Dollar General, Union, Mississippi, pouring rain. Those are some of the bigger things that are happening with the weather. We'll give you a complete look at the forecast this morning coming up in just a few moments after we go over a few headlines that's going on. Most importantly, y'all be careful. We're here for you. Should a warning break out, we'll go street by street no matter what time of day it is. We'll be here behind the scenes watching and tracking everything. Well, that Madison Ridgeland area, y'all are getting wet as well this morning. Well, let's start out. There was a commotion yesterday afternoon. It took several minutes to understand fully what had happened. But 22nd Avenue, as you're leaving downtown Meridian and you go under I-20 and you come up on the red light, there was a car off the side of the road, kind of hanging off the curve like that. From reports of people that passed by, it looked as though 2 people were passed out in the car. And, of course, most people go to thinking, well, this could be the worst of the worst. as the Meridian Police Department investigated this, and it took a few moments for that. I even had reports of there's gas mask on. So you go, whoa, what's up? This will turn into a DUI type situation, driving while under the influence, and it would not be alcohol. This would be narcotics, so to speak. As the car was searching, narcotics was found, and they were kind of slumped over. They were taken on to jail. They were checked out and then rushed right on down to a jail cell near them for this. Fortunately, no other cars were involved in this. And this was the scene here as we see this. If you came along, this is what it looked like yesterday. Here's the car off over that ramp there. It's like they were going to go straight and just kept right on going off into the bushes there. And we'll show you just a small clip here of what this looked like. And it goes on and on. It's several minutes that you can watch the entire video that I've got posted on sammedia.network. You can check all of that out and see more of that. Watch the entirety of that to get a closer look at what went on. A little mess there. The Meridian Fire Department was called out last night. Fortunately, I don't think it was anything serious. This would be 35th Avenue, just off of North Hill Street. We got reports of possibility of smoke. They rushed out. Nothing serious. I think there might have been some minor damage here and there, but they always do their job and always on it. A big thank you to them of taking care of business like that. Also this morning coming up at 8 o'clock, make sure to come back. We'll discuss, there was lots of reports of a robbery last night. We'll give you the full details of what really went on. It sounded a lot worse than it was. I'm going to tell you behind the details on that. That's at 8 this morning with Scotty Ray and Candace. We're getting some details as we wait to hear more of a car chase that happened last night. Let's pull this up where you can get a look at where all this went on. This started just south of 8th Street in this area here. Now, this is not the exact route. It's probably a quicker route than actually was taken. It did go up through here and out by Highland Park and all around before the car would stop. Somewhere in this neighborhood here, I'm told that the suspects hit another car. As they made a sharp turn, they kept right on going. They would abandon the car and take off on foot with deputies after it. They would be joined by the Meridian Police Department. That was one of the things that went on overnight last night. I think they found a few things in the car as well. So no one hurt, most importantly, with that. They just didn't seem to want to stop, did they? Happens every day. Something behind the scenes like that. We're also, I'm getting reports possibly of a break-in. I haven't gotten full details, so we'll have that at 8 o'clock. We got some folks checking this out to make sure it is what it is. It could be a false alarm, but I'm working on that. Also, we'll talk a little bit more in detail about this. This seems to be a buzz. I remember as a kid, every kid brought theirs, and they had fun behind the bleachers or wherever it was at a football game. But this is the latest. Have you seen this from Southeast School? No footballs, baseballs, soccer balls, anything are allowed now. A few parents aren't too happy about that. I'm sure if it's for one county school, it's for all, but Southeast is the only one I've seen post it. I'll see what we can find out about that. But a few of those parents are going, I don't know about all this. I saw it, and I think you did too. All the kids did. Those little small footballs, they played. Union, Mississippi yesterday, and I'm sure this will come back again. We got this picture there from the streets of Union as flooding was starting to ease over the streets as they put out barrels over it. Again, I want y'all to remember this today. It's going to be a lot of this. Areas of Meridian go underwater. Each little town, Philadelphia, will have these problems. As far as DeKalb, Louisville, to our south, and Quitman, be careful. It can be sinkholes underneath that water as well. Swallow you up, make you have a wreck, so y'all be careful there. Charlotte Gray, how are you? Morning from Philadelphia. We've got a reward. There's nothing worse than losing your dog. We've had a couple here in the last couple of days here. Let's pull up this picture. This is Bud. We got a couple of pictures of Bud to show. He's missing from the Duffy area. $300 reward for him if you happen to see him sitting around. Let me show you a bigger picture of old Bud there. There he is. I think he's wanting a treat there, wouldn't you think? There's another picture of him. He's been missing since July the 29th. They sure would like to have him back. If you've seen him, you get in contact. I've got the number there. You can inbox me. We'll pass along a message for you if for some reason you can't get in touch with them. It was a day of animals yesterday. Boy, Jimmy Smith Road. This would be just north of where West Lauderdale Elementary is. Pigs? Yeah, we got a few of them. Have y'all looked at this? They're roaming the streets there. Pretty popular animals there. Let's zoom this up where you can get you a good look. And at the end of the day, the moral to the story is drive a little slower through there. I'm not sure if they're pet pigs or they're wild pigs or whatever the case. I know it just doesn't end up well if one of them walks out in front of your car. We'll tell you more about, oh, wait a minute, cows. We had a bunch of cows yesterday. Philadelphia, let's go up there. We put out the cow alert. This would be on Walter Sisson Road. And as we got into the comments there was other pictures of the cows that, well, they just like to roam around a good bit. Rainy days bring out the animals, breaking those stalls. So y'all be careful, keep it in mind. Flooding on George Road, Gloria says. Be careful there, girl. Morning from Dixon. Tina, how are you today? Also, cornbread is up. Mr. Nick Dow. A lot of folks watching. Yvonne is watching us from Enterprise. How are you, Miss Magruder? Hope your day has started out well there. Penelope, good morning. Glad to see you. Now, as we start looking around, and again, we'll have more details on a few of the stories that we're working on at 8 o'clock. It's kind of hard to get a lot before 6 a.m. at 4 in the morning. There's a lot of people still asleep. They don't like to be bothered. I call and get as many answers as I can as we wake up. We'll have some more answers coming up. Let's look around the state as we start looking at these. We have a Tupelo, Mississippi is where we go next. As I talked with our friends over at Dark Horse, a man has been arrested. Why? They found over 800 fentanyl pills. Fentanyl? That's how you say it, fentanyl pills, in his car in his hotel room. He was stopped and further investigation went, the more they found. That'll get you a little time there. They've arrested 38-year-old, and they call him Polo Gomez. Not good, is it? Y'all know that as well as I do. We also find out that a former law enforcement, there's nothing worse than somebody that goes rogue, especially when they're over someone, that checks on someone. A former MDOC official was charged with statutory rape. He was sentenced to 15 years. He will serve at least 5 day for day. Will not be able to get out for them. Pleaded guilty to it. One count of gratification of lust as well. As the story goes on, it looks as though someone had to answer to him, and he was using that to his advantage, so to speak. Bad as we look at that. Horrible. 4 suspects, Jackson County, Mississippi, have been arrested. They were robbing people in front of a hotel. Shots fired in the air and took what they wanted from people as they came out of their hotel room. They've been arrested. Vicksburg reporting this morning that they had several car windows shot out. They've arrested one person with that. We've seen that in the Meridian area as well. Jackson sees it every day, a lot more than we do. But Vicksburg taking a bite out of that. Now, I don't have a picture of this, and I wish I did. As we go back to Vicksburg, I think we've all heard it. We've talked about it. Dr. Alan Brown has been in with me. It is one of the oldest homes in Mississippi, one of the few to survive in the area over there of the pre-Civil War era, McRaven, the most haunted home in Mississippi. You're supposed to have the real deal up in there. And it's not one of these friendly Casper ghosts. From every tale I've ever heard, it's a very mean ghost that lives up in that house. Push-you type person. A 200-year-old oak tree fell in the front yard and missed the house by about that much this week. It was spared for whatever reason. McRaven. I'll see if I can't come up with a picture of this. I just got a report of that this morning that had happened. Fell, that's a big tree. Barely missing the house. Hate to see that happen, but I think it had some rotted area in that. Sandy White, how are you? This is, and I'll show you a picture of this. We don't know why or what. This is going to another state, not very old at all. Dr. Wendy Cook. I doubt that anybody watching us knows who she is. She's a 54-year-old high school principal in South Carolina. Why I bring her up is tragedy. She was found shot in her car, and the suspect's still in it. We don't know why or how or what, but that happened. as we look at this, and she's a beautiful lady. You don't understand why these things happen. As we go to Facebook to take a look at her, she's a mom, she's a mother, probably a wife. Murdered for what? A high school principal. Her life cut short. We don't know whether she was robbed and driven there. The investigation goes on. But that happened in South Carolina. We pass along condolences to the family of that. Uncle Joe looks like he's going to make another announcement today as we look at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. And there's a lot of people, this is a hot button right now. The student loan forgiveness. They're expecting him to announce today at least a $10,000 forgiveness to everybody that owes anything. Well, does everybody, to be fair about this, that didn't go to college get that $10,000? Probably not. It's a hot button there. A lot of people say, well, if you made the debt, you owe it. The cost of college has gotten out of hand. I think we all know that. And never, ever let anyone convince you that having a trade is less. It's not. It's nice to have a piece of paper. I've been involved in life, and y'all have too, to where you have somebody over you that has a piece of paper, and whether they know what they are doing or not, you have to listen to them. $10,000 forgiveness. That's really a hot key in America right now, and it looks as though he's going to do that. Let's look around here, some other things there. A dog was saved down in Adams County, which is right near Natchez. It was swept away with all this rain, and it went into a drain underneath the street. Workers were able to pull the pup out. That's a good story. I like reading things like that. We had an upset in the polls, and is this an indication of things that are coming to where America, even though you know other things are wrong, you'll go this way, abortion. A Democrat that was predicted to lose an election in New York has won. He beat the Republican opponent after he rallied for abortion rights. This will make the drums beat louder. Y'all expect that in all elections coming up with the midterms. That is going to be the focus now after we see that happen. So I'm going to leave that alone. I'll leave it at that, and that's the actual facts with that. Whew. Well, let's see there. Let's see here. Rhonda, how are you today? Glad to see you back there. And you're right. Rhonda says, what about the folks who have paid back their student loans? Did they get the $10,000? I'd almost be willing to say no. I'm not sure of that. I'm not sure, but that's what it's adding up to be. Don't pay your bills and you'll be rewarded is what it sounds like. We got your forecast right around the corner. We'll dig into this and find out just how bad it's going to be and wet. That's all on the way. If you're getting ready to purchase land, make sure you have it surveyed. Contact our friends at the Woodlands Group. Maybe you're selling land, dividing land up. Whatever the case is, the Woodlands Group can help you there. They handle residential and commercial clients. And again, they specialize in property line location, site plans, and a whole lot more. Maybe you have a construction project, and they have the latest equipment to make sure it's done right, including drones. Call Justin Palmer or Brandon Briggs at the Woodlands Group, Surveying Solutions. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're building, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. Talk to Michael. We got another round of that season coming up before long, as we get ready for another tornado season that comes in the fall into the winter months there. That'll be right around the corner. All right, let's get into the weather and pull back up radar before we start giving the statistics from the National Weather Service. Again, flood warnings are out this morning as we go back to the Meridian Honda radar there for Kemper County until 11:45 and the eastern side of Neshoba County if you're just joining us. The northern portion of Neshoba and also Carthage there in Leake County is under warning until 7:45. As you can see, this rain has shifted southward. This is just about to end as we look at that. Now, we zoom closer into this pouring rain near Decatur northward on Highway 15 all the way toward Philadelphia. If you've got to make that route, leave at least 30 minutes earlier. It's rough through there. If you don't have to be somewhere at a certain time, wait this out. Let that pass. Lots of rain at Carthage this morning. Walnut Grove, Lena, look at all of that rain there. Scott County, Forest, it's pouring rain. And all of this area, northern Newton County, pouring rain. We're also seeing it here in this southern portion. Any of these roads that come out of Philadelphia, Highway 19, as we all know, once that 4-lane ends, it's tricky. You cannot pass. It's slow, cautious. Highway 15, as well as we look here across here and follow 21 up to that split there. That's going to be heavy rain as well. Now we move east and we follow in on Highway 16. Look at the rain on this. Let's turn on locations where this will show where this picks up. And again, this is going to be at that Dollar General where Ford's store was. Heavy rain. Bogachita up in this area, a lot of rain as well. As we move east, by the time you get right over here to the Cleveland area, you won't hardly be able to see the road in those junctions of 493 and 495. And it lightens up as you get into DeKalb, around Toonies there, up around the high school. Be careful. As we go southward, all the way through here, the Volunteer Fire Department down in Damascus, pouring rain past the coal plant into Lauderdale County. Now, southern Kemper County, as we get on this side, Highway 45, this will take you through 2 Mile Bottom. As you top that hill and you see Porterville where the chicken shack was, it'll break just a little bit. Have some light rain. Heavier rain in Scuba. We got a stretch there from the wood yard to Scuba that won't be as bad as we move south into to Lauderdale County, all the way to the Ralph Morgan Rodeo. Yep, Dalewood getting rain this morning. And east of us, York, Alabama, all the way to Livingston. Highway 17, y'all be careful on that as we look at heavy rains just past McElroy Trucking. As we move back into Lauderdale County, as you'll see here, this rain making its way. Let's turn this off. We got those showers there at Northeast High School. It comes across at Oak Tibby, and we've got showers at the 4-way stop there in Collinsville this morning. West Lauderdale Elementary and High School dumping rain. So the kids are going to get wet. And if you're in this northern portion out here of the county waiting on the school bus, sit with the kids in a car. Let's keep them dry as much as we can. We move south and all this moving those areas there as we turn off those locations. For the bigger picture, this is what we've got. Let's back out and let you see that. Across the state of Mississippi, pouring rain. 2 to 3 inches is expected today. All right, let's do a closer look at what the National Weather Service is telling us of what's going on with the weather this morning. Let's do that breakdown.
Your forecast is brought to you by ave.A, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Our record highs, record lows, it was 07 on this date. Our record high was 100 degrees back in 91, and I'll be honest, I don't remember this. I was around, but don't remember it at all. It was lowest record, 50 degrees, overnight low there in 1991. Ooh, that's been a while. I was in radio back in those days. Showers are expected today. Meridian's only going to reach 77 for that high. As you'll see here in this chart, all of this dark green rain area here is heavy, heavy rainfall expected. It's coming. We'll pretty much top out at 77 in Columbus. Down south of us, Hattiesburg will reach 80. Laurel about 78. Natchez getting the high for the area there about 81. Down where all those antebellum homes are. As we cut across east into Alabama, this heavy rain will cut over to Clanton, just south of Birmingham, back down to Montgomery, taking in Demopolis, Livingston, all of these areas. 79 on average on that western side of Alabama. We'll be warm at Birmingham with 82. And as we get into Auburn, about 81, that east side of the state. Now, here's what we've got today as we get this update from the National Weather Service there. All of this red is a level 3, which means we could get 2 to 4 inches of rain. Now, the forecast even calling for 2 to 3, but it could be 4 inches in this red area. So if you're watching me, whether you're in Vicksburg, you're back in Bastrop, Louisiana, Yazoo, all of this area taking in all of Leake, Neshoba County, Kemper County, and portions of Winston County. This is going to be Highway 25 here as Noxapater makes it into that little red area. And southward through Clark County, we come across Jasper and Smith, all of these areas now, heavy, heavy flooding there. Now, the elevated area, these two north of there, Macon, Mississippi, and Laurel, Hattiesburg, those areas, we'll see about 2 to 4 inches there. It's significant rain going to be in these areas here. Expect it less than this, but more on this right here. And as you'll notice, one of the few times normally this red area is anticipated to be 6 inches. They're still quoting 2 to 4 inches. But we've already got tons of rain already. Y'all be careful. Drive slow. Do not speed. If you hit a puddle of water, It'll cause a wreck and a heartbeat. And as Chet pointed out a minute ago, make sure to have those headlights on. What's going to happen tomorrow? More of the same. 2 to 3 inches of rain in addition to what we've already got. And this will take in this eastern side from Jackson all the way over to that Bama state line is what we're looking at. And this could happen in a 3-hour period, too. Woo. As we look at the temperatures, we are seeing those normal temperatures at 77 that we're having today. A little bit cooler weather possibly there, but look at the rest of it. It's coming hotter weather. That's what we've got as we come across. Let's get into our forecast of the breakdown of what the National Weather Service tells us for today. As I mentioned, 100% chance of rain today. Thunderstorms as well. Some of them could be severe, producing at least 3 inches of rain. That's a lot of rain there. Be careful. As we get into tonight, it will decrease to a 60% chance of showers before 7, and then a chance of thunderstorms between 7 p.m. and 1 a.m. Cloudy with a low right around 71 is what we'll have. We roll into Thursday as we get near the end of the week, a 90% chance of rain. Look at the high, only 84, not too bad there as we get into tomorrow. And most of these will roll in tomorrow afternoon after 1 o'clock is what we expect, an afternoon shower. By Friday, well, Thursday night, don't forget, we'll have still continued rain there. 90% continues. As we go into Friday, it starts breaking up just a little bit, decreases to a 60% chance. That's not a huge difference because we look at Saturday, 50%, and then we're back on the move with higher chances of rain, 60, 70, as we make it through Tuesday. It's just like it's never going to end. This is the August that just brought in rain all the way up to the end of the month. We look at that through September the 7th. Here's the end of the month, the 31st of August. Still 85 with rain chances, and we have them every day all the way through the 7th of September. That doesn't mean that it will flood every day, but it does give us an indication that the wet weather is not over by any means. Now, as we look at this morning, we're starting now to see action, and this could affect us in September. We want everybody to be aware of this. We have something creeping up toward the Gulf within the next 5 days. Let's pull this up and be aware of this as we look at this. This is coming in. A 20% chance, as you'll see, that's shooting right into the Gulf. Which way it will go, we don't know yet. Another system is forming right off the coast of Africa within the next 5 days as well. Both of these have a 20% chance of making it. We'll follow these closely and let you know how this begins and where it ends. But we're expecting anywhere from 14 to 20 named storms, and it's just getting started. That runs until November the 1st, if I'm not mistaken, hurricane season. We could see action now. It's been quiet so far. All right, let's talk about fishing today. It says it's going to be good if you like to get wet. As we look at Chet's paint and body of what's being offered today, a good major time is going to be around 11 until 1 during lunch hour. Second time will be right at dark 30. Well, it's a minor time, 7 to 8 o'clock this afternoon. There is no second time for a great chance of fishing. The best time is going to be today between 11 and 1 if you got to do it. The wind's going to be south-southeast 5 to 10 miles an hour if you're wanting to wet a hook today. Let's see here. Be extremely cautious today, Corey said. Yeah, I think so. Harley, watching from Arkansas, I believe. Watching from Decatur, James Sullivan. Glad to see you there. A lot of you watching now. North Alabama joins us, Linda Culpepper. What is this about the rain gauge that I saw there a moment ago? Christy says 3.32 inches pouring at our house now. Christy Belt. That's been a lot, hasn't it? Ooh, good morning, LaWanda. Glad to see you there. A lot of y'all. Wet, wet, wet is what we've got. I've got Candace coming in 1 hour and 1 minute. We'll go live with the morning show. I hope you'll join us. Come back. There'll be some more things added as we do a breakdown of what went on last night, what we expect today. It's going to be a wet one. Be careful. I'll see you back soon as we continue the Scotty Ray Report. Thank y'all so much.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: